and, being able to know what clubs are well known, and the club directors, and having those relationships. I really know what type of athlete I'm going to get from those certain clubs and recruiting. So I've really taken advantage of that over the last
Do
few
you
years.
have, I haven't looked 100% at the roster. Do you have a lot of local players, or do you recruit from a
New
lot of
England.
New England area, Northeast mostly?
Yeah,
Okay.
but we have Florida and California
Okay.
and Chicago. So
Okay.
volleyball
Diverse,
is,
yeah.
yeah, Indianapolis, Midwest
Okay.
has great volleyball, West Coast has great volleyball. So
So what brought you to Saratoga from Castleton then?
it was home for
That
me.
was just you wanted to get back here? Okay.
Yeah, and this has always kind of been my dream job. And,
Okay.
like we talked about earlier, just being able to grow up alongside the program and knowing what you can build here. I think we have such incredible resources at
Mm.
Skidmore, whether it's the academic programs and the facilities and the administration, and
Yeah, the campus is beautiful.
the
Yeah, it really
campus is
is.
beautiful, and just having Saratoga Springs as your college town, I think, is a huge draw for recruits. So
Yes, if they are, yes and no. I think because for me, I had different priorities. Now, obviously, you want your student athletes to come in and have fun, have a town that has a lot for them to do, but also has a campus that has the academic programs and the beautiful campus and things. When I looked at Hartwick, which is in Oneonta, it was, yes, I was close enough to home if I needed to get home, but I was also far enough away to feel like I was away at school, right? But Oneonta also had, at the time, the Guinness Book of World Records for the most bars per capita. And they've called it Stonianta, different things like that. It has different names and reputations. So I was there for, yes, academics, that's cool. I was like, I'm gonna get a 3.5 plus anyway. Like I've always been pretty good academically, but I was there for basketball and to party, right? And at a place like Saratoga, it's harder because you got one street that has all the bars, and obviously you got to be 21 plus. They check the IDs, they do whatever. It was very easy for a freshman to go out and live that downtown life in Oneonta. For recruiting, when players come here, I've noticed, and I've talked to both coaches about this, both basketball coaches about this too. Things have seemed to shift. It shifted a little bit. They come in, they're more focused on academics, they're more focused on the athletics, and they're more focused on being on campus and kind of living that college life that way. It wasn't necessarily the case back in 06. It was more, back in 2006, it was more like, wow, we're going to college. Spring break, keg stands, like, let's go, And I think a lot of students now coming in are more, they're less about that, I think, at least in terms of the athletics.
Yeah.
Because I'll tell you, when I was there, the athletes were the biggest partiers of any of them. So I do know that the town makes that a little bit more difficult, but that's good for you guys at least.
Yeah, it's all about priorities, right? Like, I think the type of athlete that we're recruiting is so motivated, not just in athletics, but with everything that they're involved in. And I say all the time on my recruiting calls, I am inspired every day being able to work with the type of athletes that I work with, because I'll be sitting there planning practice in the fall, trying to keep things engaging, and how can I do the next best drill, right? And then I have an athlete come in and say that she just studied the brainwaves in fruit flies. I'm like, okay.
There we go.
Well, that's super cool.
That was not on my list. My list was, hey, I'm gonna come play basketball. Cool. Will I be a starter by the time I'm a junior? Awesome. Okay. The rest of it, the rest of it's gravy.
They truly motivate me to be a better person in all aspects, and not only from academics and volleyball. I also say to recruits, like, we don't want the type of athlete that's just going to practice and just going to class. We want you to be involved in so many aspects of college life, because Skidmore has that. We have so many things you can be involved in, and figuring out your social group.
Which is great, because I spoke with, I had Ruby Kropp on last week from the basketball team, and she's part of a lot of the peer counseling stuff here, from a student level. And obviously Peter Fisher runs the DEI stuff here, which we didn't have a lot of back then. Looking at, I have a buddy who's a defensive coordinator at Hartwick still for the football team, and he said how much the campus changed and how much it's different. And I think a lot of the landscape nowadays promotes that. You know, you get a lot more academic focused and want to be, you know, want to be the best player and student and everything that they can be nowadays. You know, and that's good, because had I had that type of coaching or your recruiting philosophy, it probably would have been a little different. I probably would have, you know, had a different mentality, and I probably would have chose a different place. But
Top 40 liberal arts school, right? One of the best in the country, and they come here because they want to excel academically and athletically. And you know, my team had a 3.81 team GPA,
which is awesome.
Which at a high academic school like Skidmore is such an amazing accomplishment. And we try to promote academics the best that we possibly can, and helping them understand that's why you're here.
Well, the Liberty League in general is a great academic conference too. So I mean, you got like RPI and Ithaca, Clarkson, and you know, some of these schools that are putting some of the highest professions out there. So
it's the draw,
and so with Skidmore, then you came in. I know you do a lot of stuff, you know, on game days as well, not just in volleyball. Obviously, you know, I've seen you on the basketball games and the different things. So do you have any other roles on campus besides just the coach? Or what do you,
yeah, like you just mentioned, I do women's basketball game management, and David does game management for our games, which is so cool to kind of build that relationship between the two of us and our programs. And then I also teach racquetball.
Oh wow!
Yeah, I'm a racquetball professor.
Is that kind of like okay? So when we had our curriculum, we had to have a gym class sort of a thing. Is that kind of what this is?
Yeah, so they're called PA courses. They are not required. They're 1 credit. And their physical activity, that's what PA stands for. Yep. So there's racquetball, there is self-paced fitness, which is when you come in, you check in with your professor and go do whatever type of activity you want to do for the day, and then check back in at the end of class. We have power and agility. We have tennis now with our new facility. You actually can take a riding course down at the stable horses and swimming. Like, there's so many different options, and I love.
So racquetball, was that? Did they assign you that, or did you choose racquetball?
Jerry and Hilda taught racquetball, so I was able to take that.
Nice. Had you had any previous racquetball experience?
A little bit in college, but
that's an interesting sport too.
It is, but you know what? The students end up loving it.
They do. Okay.
It's a lot of fun. And it's cool for me because I'm so stuck in the athletics world.
Sure, yeah.
And it's awesome to be able to build relationships with students from across campus and kind of really learn about different types of students that we have at Skidmore. So it's been a lot of fun.
Because even though it's like a sport, or I guess it's a physical activity, as you mentioned, it's not like a varsity sport. So you get to, like you said, kind of connect with them more on a personal level than just coaching them with, you know.
Yeah, especially because I get a lot of seniors that we talk about what their career path might look like, and interviews that they're going on, and building those relationships has been a lot of fun. And we try to keep it engaging. We do a class tournament at the end of the semester, and they end up loving it.
Is that the one that's it's like in a little room? It's like a gym that's smaller than this studio, and you're like hitting the ball against the wall.
Yeah, very similar to squash. That's probably
I think I'm thinking of squash.
Yeah, they're similar. So it's fun.
Have you ever played pickleball?
Yeah,
because I've seen that. That's been on TV lately, and I'm like, that's a growing thing too.
Talk about a growing sport. So pickleball.
It's like tennis, but it's like close quarters tennis.
I know.
It's interesting. So what got you? I guess we've talked a little bit about your coaching stuff, but from a personal standpoint, what got you into volleyball? Like, I knew, obviously, I was a little bit taller than all my friends growing up. I've since, you know, leveled out, and you know, but. When I was younger, I was taller than a lot of them. But what got you, and that's kind of like, basketball and men's volleyball when I was little wasn't really a thing. So they're like, what can a kid who's 90th percentile in height at 7 years old get into? And they put me in basketball, and then obviously it grew on me, and I started playing from there. What got you really into volleyball? Was it your dad's influence, or was it kind of before that?
Yeah, I know it sounds cliche, but it's really a way of life for our family.
Okay, so you just kind of were born into it.
Yeah, I would go in a pack and play in the corner of his practices with an umbrella over my head when I was a baby. It was just a way of life for us.
Oh, that's right. You said he's been 38 years, right? So you were born, he was already the coach when you were born. Okay. Yeah. So I was trying to put the math together in my head.
I was born on like a sectional championship day.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
okay.
I think that's the story.
So So volleyball's kind of been inherited in your
yeah,
life.
most
Okay.
definitely.
See, my dad played lacrosse at Syracuse, so I was like, I'm the only member of my family not to go to Syracuse, by the way. But I was like, okay, lacrosse. See, for me, it was similar. I wanted to be something different. Like I could have played lacrosse, and he tried to put a stick in my hand when I was younger, and I was like, I want to be my own sport, my own thing. So I could sort of see how the influence can go either way, though. It could kind of be like, oh, my family does this. This is our thing. I'm gonna play this, or it could be like, I want to be my own person. Like I can sort of see you can go either way.
Both my brothers ended up, and they're both older than me.
And they play. You said,
They played in college. Actually, both my brothers and my sister-in-law were all Americans.
They all went to Burnt Hills too.
My brothers went to Burnt Hills. Okay. My sister-in-law's from Chicago.
Sister-in-law,
yeah. My oldest brother and her met at Carthage College in Kenosha, Wisconsin.
Oh, jeez, really?
Yeah. What's your connection?
No. It's just something like you said. Volleyball is a small world.
Yeah.
My brother, who played at Shen, now lives in St. Petersburg, Florida. Now he actually went to Carthage.
Okay.
And he played volleyball. He went out for in
really?
Kenosha. Yeah.
Nice.
Which when you said Carthage, like
what's his name?
Ryan McSwiggan.
Okay.
Yeah.
That sounds so familiar.
He was only there for he didn't finish, but he was, and then he came back and went to Hudson Valley to finish out. But he originally went there, and I had never heard of it because it's just. School like this size, but it's in the Midwest, and so I'm like, but it's just funny. Like you mentioned, small world, like Carthage.
Yeah,
he's the only person I've ever known who's went to Carthage I've known personally, and now you mentioned Carthage. It's just full circle. It's
such
crazy.
a beautiful school.
It is
and
though,
such
right on the lake.
Incredible volleyball programs there for both men's and women's. Okay. So
that's I think why he went. I think he said they were one of the top. Like they were ranked nationally when he went, at least on the men's side.
Yeah, my brother ended up losing the Springfield national championship game at Carthage, and my other brother, they actually almost played each other in the Elite Eight. So kind of a fun experience as their sister to watch and follow alongside with, because it's such a fun sport.
Men's game different than the women's game?
Yeah, I mean, it's just different.
It's just, I mean, because you would think, again, we talked a little bit off the air, but like baseball and softball are different sports, but they have the same principles. Whereas like men's and women's lacrosse, pretty much the same, couple of different rules. Men's and women's hockey, pretty much the same, but the checking thing is a little different. But I wasn't sure. I don't know much about volleyball. Is the men's and women's game different games, or are they pretty much sort of the same, just with a few different?
Yeah, different components, higher net, different ball.
Higher net,
okay. Yep.
I would imagine a little bit of a higher net.
Yeah,
but,
right.
And awesome. And so you've coached youth club and college players and things. What age group does that club start at? Do you coach like real little kids too?
Yeah, the youngest one we have in our program is 4th grade.
Oh wow! Okay,
yeah. So I run the 12 and under program at Spa City Volleyball Club, and I've run that youth program for a long time. I love it. It kind of brings me back to my elementary school teaching roots that I have, and just helping these young athletes fall in love with the game right from the start is so rewarding. My dad actually always says that if they come back for a second year to play, you did your job perfectly, because that means that
they enjoyed it enough to come back.
They enjoyed it and they loved it, and
they came back to the same place, the same coach, the same
Yeah, so it's been so much fun for me to be able to do that. And actually, we have 6 of our athletes